Time is out with its annual list of the 100 most influential people on Earth.
And we are joined by Time's assistant managing editor, Matt Vella. And Matt, how did this list come together?
Well, we start the process late the year before, so around November last year. We poll Time editors and contributors from around the world about who should be on the list. We ask Time 100 list members from years past, and we start a long debate process that goes right through the beginning of April.
So there's a lot of interesting people on here, obviously, but I want to highlight a couple that caught my eye, and specifically Abu Bakr Shekau. He is the leader of Boko Haram, the terror group in Nigeria.
Right.
And General Carter Ham writes the introduction to who he is.
Yeah. So, you know, this is not a list about power. This is not a list about wealth or celebrity. It's really about influence. So someone like him is a very influential person. He's shaping our foreign policy. He's shaping the way the president and the Joint Chiefs make decisions, the way the European Union is, interacting with Africa. And that is really, sort of the essence of the list. We're looking for people who push whatever field they're in for good or ill, further, and drive the conversation.
So one of our own, CBS News financial contributor, Melody Hobson, she's on the list. She's the president of Ariel Investments. So what makes her influential? Well,
she is, she does a ton of things. She's a really remarkable person. She also works on DreamWorks, and she's on the Starbucks board, and we actually got her fellow board member, Bill Bradley, former senator who ran for president, to write her entry. And, he just paints this picture of an incredibly smart, incredibly driven person who cares about financial literacy, really just sort of all-around amazing person. So
you've also got Apple CEO Tim Cook and Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella on here.
Yeah.
Don't they sort of make the list every year?
Not every year. Really depends on what's going on. Certainly, this is the first time Satya Nadella has been on the list. He's really shaken up Microsoft, tried to make it much more nimble, much more quick. They're putting their apps on the iPad and developing for Google platforms. So he's really sort of changed the image of the sort of stodgy old Microsoft. And Tim Cook, this is a huge year for Tim Cook. It's the first all-new product Apple has released that was completely created under him, the Apple Watch. And we got Rep. John Lewis to write about him, and he wrote a little bit about his impact on civil rights, his impact on the environment, and the stuff that's outside the sort of normal just making money stuff.
You also asked certain people to write about someone on the list, and so I thought this was fascinating. Lauren Powell Jobs, the wife of the late Steve Jobs, she wrote about Hillary Clinton in a very positive way, and she wrote, Hillary Clinton is not familiar. She is revolutionary. She is one of America's greatest modern creations. Comes at a pretty good time for her.
Yeah, I mean, that timing was almost impeccable, almost too good to be true. But that's the thing. We joke internally that, we call this the Time 200 because we also get people who have been on the Time 100 previously, or people who are at a level that they can kind of quantify and discuss what people on the list are doing. So all the members, are pretty impressive. All the writers are just as impressive.
To our producer, David McDonald, in the control room, I'm going to let you finish, but Kanye, Jesus, on the cover, and Elon Musk writing, the dude doesn't believe in false modesty, and he shouldn't. Kanye's belief in himself and his incredible tenacity got him where he is today. Yeah. He's loving this, I'm sure.
Well, yes, I think Elon showed himself to be a true Kanye fan in his write-up, and if you go on time.com and read it, you can see he's been following him since the very beginning, which is pretty great.
Who are the other influential people on the other covers? So Kanye's one, and then who are the others?
Misty Copeland.
Yeah, there's Misty Copeland, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Bradley Cooper, who really shone through last year, and Jorge Ramos, who's the anchor of Univision.
Who was 101? Who was like the one person that you said, man, we could get him in there, so close, but
that's a really tough question to answer. This is such a crazy process for us that I don't really remember what's happened the last 3 months, if I'm totally honest. But some of the stuff that we've been able to get, particularly the contributors, is so remarkable. Henry Kissinger writing about Elizabeth Holmes, the CEO of Theranos, this really cool, innovative blood testing company. She dropped out of Stanford when she was 19. And here you have Henry Kissinger, who everybody knows, writing about her impact. It's a really pretty inspiring list to work on, just because of the caliber of people who we get
Absolutely.
writing.
It's really fascinating, and I think that you were talking about this before we started. It's not necessarily who has staying power; it's who's relevant now in their particular field, whatever it is they're doing.
And that's the thing about the list. It's not just the arts. It's not just politics. It's not just technology. We really look for people, whoever they are in their respective fields, who are pushing the conversation, who are pushing the boundaries, and doing something interesting.
Matt Vella, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Great.